In its simplest form, Sugar is just a database of related records, allowing users to click into a record to view its data and then click to another record to look at the information stored in that next record. However, this can often result in users having to keep going back and forth between records to check and update data from one record to the next, which is clearly not an efficient use of a person's valuable time. For this reason, Sugar offers various ways for users to look at their data, either in isolation in just the single record, or from within different views, allowing records to be checked before navigating to them, or to make changes to them without having to leave the current screen the user is looking at. Three main layout types allow these different ways of looking at the data. The first, and probably the one you currently use most, is the record view. This is the view which you will see when you click on the name of any record and go to look at that record, and contains the information displayed full screen and possibly arranged into panels and tabs for ease of viewing the various components of its data. You'll also see related information in the side panel and in the subpanels below the record, which give you access to the other records connected to it. Whilst the record view gives all the information within the record clearly and allows you to see the records connected to it in the subpanels below, it does have the downside that if you had navigated to it from within a list view page other than the first page of results, when you return to the module, you'll drop back at page 1 and have no simple way of getting back to where you were in the list. This is particularly frustrating if you were simply looking to see if it was the record you needed or not, as you now have to try to work out where you were in the list of results again. Whilst using the middle click, or control left click if you don't have a scroll wheel mouse, will allow you to open the record in its own tab, it can still be time consuming to keep going between different tabs and screens. For this reason, the second layout we're looking at is the preview layout. Preview lets you quickly look at a record directly from the list view without leaving the page you're on. Filter your list of records as you usually would, and then simply press the eye icon at the right hand side of the records row, and the preview pane will appear on the right hand side of the screen. The record you are previewing will also be highlighted within the list view, ensuring you know which record in the list is currently being previewed. The preview layout allows you to not only check that it is the record you are looking for, at which point you can always click onto its name to go to the record view, confident that you won't need to be going back and forth looking for the record elsewhere, but also, if your permissions allow, to edit the record within the preview pane by clicking on the pencil icon next to the record's name, remembering to press save to commit any changes back to the system before moving to your next place within the CRM. If the record you're previewing is not the correct record, you can move to the next or previous records in the list by pressing the arrow buttons at the top right of the preview view. Again, the record is highlighted in the list of results to show you where you're up to. Or simply jump to preview any other record by clicking the eye icon against its record in the list. The one thing to keep in mind is that the preview only shows the record itself. It doesn't display related records or additional linked information. This is where the third and final view I'm mentioning comes into play, the Focus Dashboard view. Hovering over the name of a record anywhere within Sugar, whether it's in a list view, a related field placeholder or a subpanel list, will bring up the Focus Dashboard icon. Assuming that a Focus Dashboard layout has been configured for that module type, clicking on this icon will overlay the focus drawer on the screen currently in view, and will contain, typically in the top left corner, the focus record view for the record you've selected. This view allows you to not only view the data stored within the record, but also gives the ability to edit and update the information stored within it, as well as displaying information from other records related to the record. For example, if you've opened up a contact, it will show the contact record and could contain another dashlet with information from the related account record, the timeline of everything which has happened with the initial record from its original creation up to the present, including records from up to 10 related modules defined by administrators, which could include calls, meetings, emails, opportunities, etc. This gives more information in the preview view, but still not as much as going to the record view itself and seeing all the related subpanels from all the related modules. However, it does give a clear view of what has been deemed important information to keep in the forefront by your organisation in a single view, without the need to scroll through masses of related subpanel records, and is particularly useful to sales and customer service staff who may need a quick overview of an account, contact, opportunity or case prior to contacting the customer. The timeline dashlet also allows you to quickly create records automatically linked to the primary record in view. Clicking on the plus icon at the top right of the timeline dashlet will present a drop-down list from which you can select which related record type you want to create. Clicking on its name will bring up the usual create screen for that record type with the relevant relationships pre-populated. By getting familiar with these three different view types, users can quickly improve not only the locating of the records and related information which they're looking for, but can gain more insight into the data surrounding a record. And this, in turn, will positively impact both their use of the system and their interactions with their customers.